the gas prices going up were one of the number one contributors to this 40-year high inflation. This particular administration seems very hell-bent on eliminating fossil fuels, not allowing us to pump as much at home. There's bad feelings between Prince Mohammed bin Salman and Joe Biden personally. And so I'm just trying to connect the puzzle pieces. Going back to Janet Yellen, who used to have Jerome Powell's job, right? So they stick her here under Obama. She does a terrible job. And now they're like, let's bring her back, right? And now we have Jerome Powell. They're both, like you say, they're both telling us everything's going to be okay. The dollar will stay strong. Interest rates, we have to raise them or else, the country will collapse. We'll have hyperinflation. Do you believe that they have the banking crisis under control? We know they haven't tamed inflation, but should my viewers expect to see more fear and worry in the banking sector? Or is most of the big damage that could have happened, is that behind us?
Let's go back to the quote from Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, on Monday, April 3rd. He goes on to say that the banking crisis is not over and will, quote, cause repercussions for years to come. That's from the top bankster in the United States. What no one is talking about, that we've been warning now, again, what we do with the Trends Journal is we give in-depth trends analysis and trend forecasts of geopolitical and socioeconomic current events. We say what's going on, what it means, and what's next. So now, going back to Jamie Dimon saying repercussions for years to come. What no one is talking about, we've been talking about for 3 years, is the office building bust. As of February 4th, according to Castle with a K, the office occupancy rate in the United States is 49%. You think the Silicon Valley Bank was something? Nah. Oh, it was huge. Nothing compared to what's going to happen. So here's the deal. You have a 49% occupancy rate. The economy's going down. I'm a tenant. Let's say I have 12 floors. I got people coming in 2 or 3 days a week. Rather than sitting in their ugly little stupid pod, now they're working from home. When they locked down everybody, people were saying to themselves, holy, I've been commuting an hour and a half each way. I'm getting up at 5 a.m. I'm not doing this anymore. Now I'm the employer. I don't need all these floors anymore, and I can't afford it. Business is down. Now I'm the owner of the building. I just lost a bunch of tenants. Oh, and it was overbuilt before this. We were talking about offices being overbuilt in 2019. The COVID war began in January 2020. Now, these revolving loans, interest rates are up. Now, I got to pay more on my loan as the people that own the building, as I'm losing tenant after tenant after tenant. How am I going to pay my bank loan? You're not going to bank. Here, take the building. Oh, we're going to turn them into housing. Oh, yeah? Look at the data. According to the data, buildings built in the last 50 years are non-convertible to apartments. Now, let's look at all the businesses that used to depend on commuters in the 10 largest cities, because that's the number from 49%, that are not coming in anymore. Dry cleaners are drying out. Hey, remember Friday used to be happy hour? No more. That's the least day of the week that people are going back to work on Friday. They don't want that longer weekend. We have a crisis coming here that no one is talking about. No one. And when they do write about it, they only put a little bit of statistics into it, and they kind of fudge it out. So when Jamie Dimon says that repercussions for years to come, you got it. The banking bust has just begun.
Do you think most of that will come from businesses and business owners defaulting or just not renewing their contract once their lease is up?
Both.
Okay, so it doesn't even matter.
A lot of subleasing going on. There's subleasing to get out and giving it away for hardly anything. And then again, their lease is up. Leases are coming up. My lease is up. I'm not renewing it. And again, the owners of the buildings, what are they going to do? Again, you have a 49% occupancy rate, half of what it used to be. And it was overbuilt before. And yes, some companies want their employees to come back, but the other ones are saying, let's stay home. Listen, I have people coming in 3 days a week. I could care less as long as they do their job. Yeah. And we didn't do it for that. We did it because it's an hour drive. And I said, stay home 2 days a week. I don't want you coming in that far, but not because of the COVID crap. We didn't do it for that. So, but I'm saying it's a different world. It's a Zoom world. And again, look at what the office is. Who the hell wants to work in a cubicle? Who the hell wants to be in a cubicle?
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is important because The banking crisis is not ending, it's beginning. Like people who have traditionally invested in REITs, specifically commercial REITs, they need to be aware that that is not possibly going to be a path forward. And once people start to default, that's when things break loose. You see layoffs, you see people tighten their spending, you see marketing departments dry up. I mean, just that one thing will send out ripples in 1,000+ directions. So that's one of your big predictions then.
Oh, and you mentioned about the REITs. The REITs are rigged anyway in so many ways. They get, a bunch of doctors to come in and medical firms, and they say the rent is going to be X amount of dollars, which is about, let's say, $10 a square foot higher than any place around it, but they get a piece of the building. And then they keep raising the rents, but they own the building. It's a whole thing. These things are rigged. The REITs, not all of them, and I'm not saying it, but I'm saying a lot of them are. And I know one personally that is. And so again, by the way, we don't see a housing bust.
Okay.
Unless there's, a wild card of some unimaginable, calamity. Yeah, prices are going to go down, but nowhere in terms of what happened during the panic of 2008. And again, you think about the price inflation. I moved to Rhinebeck, New York, which is like, now they call that the Hamptons of the North, Southampton, and then there's Rhinebeck up in the beautiful valley up there. It's just gorgeous on the Hudson River in the Hudson Valley. I bought 38 acres of land, 3 separate parcels in 1984, 16 acres, 10 acres, and 8.5 acres. And the 8.5 acres had an old house on it, like an 1880s, small little one, had to redo the whole thing. $28,000. What's the average price of a car now? $48,000. $48,000. So when we're talking about inflation going down, the crap that they're putting out there, look where we are. You're making $100,000 a year. It's not enough. It's at a height, 18 to 29-year-olds living with their parents, higher than it was during World War II and the Great Depression. When I was 18 years old, I'm out of here, No more. Can't afford it. Yeah. So when we talk about inflation and they keep coming, inflation numbers are coming down. They're coming down from what?